The path of knowledge is the way to Jannah. The path of knowledge is the way to Jannah. Jannah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen. Amma ba'd. Fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah.
Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah.
Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habiballah.
Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habiballah.
Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah.
Salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah.
Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah.
Wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah.
My dear viewers of Madani Channel, welcome back to another episode of Path to Success. And in today's topic, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, a very important life, an aspect of the life of Imam Ahmed Raza Khan, Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alay, will be discussed in the brief time that we have. And this will be in regards to the childhood of Imam Ahmed Raza Khan, Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alay, that how did they spend their life, how did they spend their childhood, and comparing them to the modern day era of how our children are spending their childhood and what we can do to better their upbringing in accordance with the teachings of Shah Imam Ahmed Raza Khan, Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alay. But before we dive into our topic at hand, mashallah, joining us today on our panel, our Shahid Attari, mashallah, we welcome them, our Harun Bhai as well, and our Naat Khan Islami brother Hafiz Adil Sahab, we welcome them as well. But before we go into anything else, let's listen to a virtue of reciting Durood upon the best of creation, Sallallahu Ta'ala Alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallam, the Prophet of mankind, the peace of our heart and mind, the most generous and kind, the comfort and coolness to our eyes, the one in whom our hope for salvation lies, the one who journeyed beyond the seven skies, the one who is the owner and the distributor of paradise, the one whose face is more radiant than the sunrise. Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa barak wa sallam has stated that an individual recites Durood, that person's name along with his father's name is presented to me in my grave. Aw kama qaal. Therefore, my dear viewers on Madani Channel, we should make this a habit of reciting Durood upon Nabi Akram alayhi salatu wasalam, that alongside our name, the name of our father is also presented in the court of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallama. Now inshallah, moving towards the starting of the program, inshallah, we will start with, of course, none other than the recitation of the Holy Quran, followed by a beautiful naat praising the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, inshallah, by our Naat Khan brother Hafiz Adil Sahab, inshallah. Yeah, sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا. إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا. صدق الله العظيم. صلی اللہ علیہ یا رسول اللہ وسلم علیہ یا حبیب اللہ لم یاتی نذیرک فی نہار لم یاتی نذیرک فی نہار مثل تو نشد پیدا تو ناشد پیدا جانا جگ راج کو تاج تورے سر سو جگ راج کو تاج تورے سر سو ہے تجھ کو شہید و سرا جانا یا رسول اللہ یا حبیب اللہ یا رسول اللہ یا حبیب اللہ البحر علی الروح فداك فزد حرقا یک شعلہ دیگر برزن عشقا یک شعلہ دیگر برزن عشقا مورتن من دھن سب بھوک دیا مورا تن من دھن سب بھوک دیا یہ جان بھی پیارے جلا جانا مورا تن من دھن سب بھوک دیا یہ جان بھی پیارے جلا جانا یا رسول اللہ یا حبیب اللہ یا رسول اللہ یا حبیب اللہ بس خامائے خام نوائے رضا نہ یہ طرز میری نہ یہ رنگ میرا نہ یہ طرز میری نہ یہ رنگ میرا ارشاد آحبا ناطق تھا ارشاد آحبا ناطق تھا ناچار اس راہ پڑا جانا لمحاتی نظیروں کا فی نظر مثل تو نشد پیدا جانا جگ راج کو تاج تورے سر سو ہے تجھ کو شہ دوسرا جانا.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, just this kalam which the Nath Khan brother recited, this is you can say a masterpiece of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayh. Today you see a poet writing a poem in one language, generally that language which he is comfortable in. For example, if your main language is in English, then you'll write a poem which you're comfortable in English. Arabic will write, an Arab will write in Arabic, and a person who knows he's strong in Urdu or other languages, he'll write in that language. So just in one language. Some poets, they can write in two languages, and this is considered an even better poem because it's using two languages. Some poets can write in three languages, but it's mentioned that till date there are very few poets that have written a complete poem, not just one stanza, not just one line, one sher, but a complete poem, a complete set of words and lines in praise of the Prophet ﷺ, not in one, not in two, not in three, but four languages. Subhanallah. And this is Allah Hazrat. But coming back to our topic at hand today, the childhood of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayh. MashaAllah, we started our Shahid Bhai, inshallah. Shahid Bhai, there are many things that happen in the life of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayh. Because the time is very concise, inshallah, even them memorizing the Quran Pak at a certain age, etc. So what would you like to talk about the many aspects of the childhood of Imam Ahmed Raza Khan Rahmatullahi Ta'ala?
Just look at the childhood of Allah Hazrat Alayhi. If you look at generally children nowadays, children from a young age and until they reach the age of puberty, they are carefree. They don't have this mindset or this way of thinking that they need to learn about something, because they want to socialize with their friends, want to mix in and play and everything. But alhamdulillah, Allah was completely different. Each child was completely different. He had this mindset and mission that he wants to seek knowledge and pass knowledge. Alhamdulillah, Allah Hazrat completed the recitation of the entire Quran at the age of 4.5 years. In this day and age, when we look at our children at the age of even 5-6, maybe very few will be able to even recite 1 or 2 pages of the Madani Qaida. But Allah has alhamdulillah recited the entire Quran at age 4.5.
Shahid, just here, 4.5 years old, and Adil bhai will agree with me on this as well, that today the admission to take a child into a certain institute is minimum 6 years old. But Allah Hazrat Shahid bhai is that individual, not just the beginning sciences of Qaida, etc., but finished the Nazara at the age of 4.5 years old.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's, they had this love and this mission that they want to do something. And alhamdulillah, they've completed the Quran. And Shah Sahib, it doesn't only stop there. At the age of 6, what do? They deliver absolutely heart-touching speech in front of many scholars of that time. And the speech was on the topic of Maulid of the Prophet ﷺ. Now, Shah Sahib, to deliver a speech of that nature, one has to have knowledge about the field or the topic which they are going to talk about. If we just look at the current stage, Shah Sahib, the sources which we have available to us in this day and age, there is not a single software where you can put information in and get a detailed answer. So that, I want to do a particular talk, let me put some information and get a detailed answer. There's nothing like that. Alhamdulillah, Allah Hazrat delivered a speech on Maulid which astonished the scholars of that time at the age of 6. And further on, Jazab, if you look at the age.
Just before we get to that point, inshallah, that at the age of 6, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, something to ponder upon as well, that a child generally will deliver Shahid bhai in front of whom? Another children.
In front of the children.
But this, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, that this was not a normal speech, this was a speech about the Prophet ﷺ, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This was the love of Allah Hazrat. And at the age of 6, and this speech wasn't just children, merely children, it was in front of scholars. Not just normal scholars, but distinguished scholars of that time. And after Allah Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi Harun bhai, they gave this speech, ulama, they mashallah, they thanked him as well, and they praised him for his speech, because at such an age, Allah Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi delivered a heartwarming, as Shahid bhai mentioned as well, a touching speech on Maulid al-Nabi. Harun bhai, what do you say in regards to the childhood of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi?
Subhanallah, when we heard these numbers, Shah Sahib, 4 years, 6 years, it just goes to show that Allah Hazrat in a very tender age managed to do things which many are not even able to do in their whole lifetimes. Many people, even learned people, students of knowledge, some who are not able to show such confidence or able to achieve such heights that they're able to write works, or they're able to deliver speeches in such a way, or they're able to have such a grip and excellence over the Arabic language, or be well versed in the deen and in knowledge as such, so much. And if we were to talk about his intellect, his works, we can go on and on. Just his books, what he left for us. And even from his works we hear that not everything that Allah Hazrat actually worked on we have today. Meaning only a part of what he actually done was preserved and reached us. But if we were to have entirely what Allah Hazrat was to have, then subhanallah, what would be the case then? But even then, unfortunately, in our case, that even from what he has left us, for example, the Kanzul Iman Sharif and many other great works, we're not able to take benefit from. May Allah give us the tawfiq to do so.
Inshallah, so mashallah. My dear viewers on Madani Channel, you're seeing the blessed Madani pearls regarding Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala from Harun bhai, and indeed Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala is a unique personality. Such a unique personality, Adil bhai, that Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi says that if Ahmed Raza's heart was split into 2 pieces, on one you'll find La ilaha illallah, on the other you'll find Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. यहाँ से फरमाते हैं कि मुझे अहमद रज़ा के दिल के 2 टुकड़े किए जाएं तो एक पर ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, दूसरे पर मुहम्मद रसूलुल्लाह लिखा होगा. This was the love of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, my dear viewers of Madani Channel. That Imam and his love For whom? For the family of the Prophet ﷺ. There are many accounts you get that whenever Allah would give something to a normal person, normal children for example, they'll give it in the quantity of just one. But when they would give it to the Sadat, the family of the Prophet ﷺ, they'll give it double that. So this was Allah's rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi's unique way of respecting and revering the family of the Prophet ﷺ. Inshallah, returning to our topic at hand, the childhood of Imam Ahmed Raza Khan rahmatullahi ta'ala.
Shah, looking at the childhood of Imam Raza Khan, and if I look at the age of 13 years, most are still considered children at that age. Some people who are clever, they are experts in one field or maybe two. If you look at people of an older age who have succeeded in the world, they'll be experts in one field or maximum two. You will not find anybody who's got expertise in more than that. They may have general knowledge in more than two fields, but they won't be considered experts.
Experts, yeah.
But those who are experts or are very clever, people call them the genius. But look at Allah Hazrat.
SubhanAllah.
Not one, not two, not 5, not 10, but more than 50 different subjects. An expert in every field, Jazak. Whether it's the translation of the Quran, whether it's a hadith, whether it's a ruling of Sharia, whether it's fiqh, whether it's Arabic language, mathematics, physics, astrology, astronomy, philosophy, science, algebra, medicine, and many more, Shazad. Many more. Each subject, expert in every subject. And at the age of 13 years, 10 months, they give a ruling, a fatwa, Islamic ruling, at that young age. Now, if we ask our children nowadays to tell us something in a particular subject which they may have studied at school, they will only have a basic knowledge after what they have been taught. But Allah has this knowledge so vast and so detailed, and their expertise and their knowledge and everything, Shahzab, alhamdulillah, we are benefiting from all that. When we look at current state in this day and age, the sources, facilities which we have available, no such software which can give us the answer. We get to know that their knowledge was beyond anybody's imaginable. Because when they studied something, they gave an answer, they gave a full detailed answer of everything, how everything is. And at a young age, as of 13 years, 10 months and 4 days, what is the age? For many children now, in this day and age, what do? They want to socialize with friends. And the biggest problem we have in our society, Shahzab, are these devices. We give these things to our children, and children are there sitting, playing games on their phones. If they want to ask their parents anything, the parents says, leave me alone, just go and play with your phone or do something else. We don't give time to our children so that we can teach our children. Importance is just that we need to...
Inshallah, this device, mobile phones, that it's been seen and people have mentioned as well that the children of today's era know how to use a mobile phone, a smartphone, not a normal phone, a smartphone better than their own parents. At that time, there was lack of devices, but even then, Madani Channel, there was socializing, wasn't it? But Allah Hazur Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi chose that path, to pursue that path which, subhanallah, because of that path which they pursued, even today, after more than a century has passed, even today we are talking about that blessed personality. Regarding the childhood of Imam Ahmed Raza Khan rahmatullahi ta'ala.
Many accounts, and from many different angles we can look at the childhood, the blessed childhood of Allah Hazrat, which brings me to another account of Allah Hazrat in his childhood. It is stated that in Ramadan Sharif once, Allah Hazrat, he was at the age where he didn't need to fast. So fasting was not obligatory upon Hazrat at this very time. But on this certain day, he intended to keep a fast. So, normally children do try to keep fast, but we have to bear in mind that Allah obviously was from India, and on a hot day, to keep a fast where temperatures can reach up to 50 degrees Celsius is not a normal thing. Never mind for a child, but even for a fully grown adult, it's a very hard task to fast throughout the day in such temperatures. But Khair Allah, he was fasting, and on that day, his father, Maulana Nakil Khan alayhi rahma, took his young son Ala Hazrat into a room where the sweets were kept. And he said to Ala Hazrat that, he closed the door, he said that there's the sweets, eat the sweets. You've not eaten anything.
Child's dream, that is. Child's dream.
Child's dream that, everything is there. Normally, they be looking and seeking for these. But their father says that there's the sweets, go eat them. Ala Hazrat, he replied that he was fasting. Now, the father replied that the fasting of children is always like this. And we also know that when a child says, in a young age that I'm fasting, he eats something in between, and then he'll say I'm fasting. Yes, chili dosa as they call it. When they ask him, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm fasting by the way. But he said that I'm fasting, and the father said that this is how the fast of children are. Go ahead and eat. And yes, she said that the door is closed and no one is looking. Now you may eat. On hearing this, Ala Hazrat, the reply that he gave, again, the reply that comes from Ala Hazrat, subhanAllah, amazing. He replied on this account, that through whose command I am fasting, he is seeing me.
Allah.
On hearing this answer from such a young Ala Hazrat, tears began to flow from the eyes of Maulana Nakil Khan alayhi rahma, and he left the room then with Ala Hazrat. So, again, one is this enthusiasm, this passion to practice the deen. He's not at that age where it's obligatory for him to fast. He won't be sinful if he were to miss all the fasts, because it's not obligatory for him. But he chose to fast on a certain day, and then when he's given the opportunity to eat something in between, and he's told that no one's watching, the door's closed, go ahead and eat. What does he say? He said that through whose command I am fasting, he is seeing me. And this goes to show again just a jhalak of the piety that he had, the fear of Allah which was instilled within his heart from a young, tender age.
SubhanAllah, my dear viewers of Madani Channel, this was Ala Hazrat, that even from the childhood, SubhanAllah, he had the fear of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And it's also mentioned, Shahid Bhai, that Ala Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala alayhi, at a very young age, not only did he pray his 5 daily salahs, but he prayed them in the masjid. SubhanAllah. Not only did they pray in the masjid, they prayed with the first takbir in the masjid as well. Takbir ula. This was Ala Hazrat, my dear viewers on Madani Channel.
SubhanAllah. I've heard in the past as well that when Ala Hazrat got to his latter age, when he became quite ill, and that there came a point where he would get people to carry him when he wasn't able to physically go himself to the masjid, and even then go to the masjid even whilst being carried, just so that he could offer his salah in such a.
Inshallah, before we end, Dil bhai, mankabat of Ala Hazrat mukhtasar, inshallah, 2 shares Faiz Raza.
Faiz Raza jari rahega, Faiz Raza jari rahega, inshallah jari rahega. तूने बातिल को मिटाया है इमाम अहमद रजा, दीन का ढंका बजाया है इमाम अहमद रजा। फैज़ रजा जारी रहेगा इंशाअल्लाह जारी रहेगा। ज़ोर बातिल का ज़लालत का था जिस दम हिंद में, ज़ोर बातिल का ज़लालत का था जिस दम हिंद में, तू मुजद्दिद बन के आया है इमाम अहमद रजा। फैज़ रजा रजा जारी रहेगा इंशाअल्लाह जारी रहेगा। अहले सुन्नत का चमन सरसब्ज था शादाब था, अहले सुन्नत का चमन सरसब्ज था शादाब था। ताज़गी तो और लाया है इमाम अहमद रजा। फैज़ रजा रजा जारी रहेगा इंशाअल्लाह जारी रहेगा।
Indeed, the faizan of Allah Hazrat Rahmatullahi Ta'ala Alayhi. Inshallah, this will continue till the Day of Judgment. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, unfortunately this is near the ending of our program. We'll take briefly the last final words of our muballighin that are present here, then inshallah we will enter silsila. Inshallah, mukhtasaran 1 minute inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, to teach our children, Shah Sahab, we need to teach our children the life and childhood of Allah Hazrat. The so amazing childhood of Allah Hazrat. Give our children to read the biography of Allah Hazrat so that they understand how they were as a child and how we like as children. And inshallah this will build interest and love in our children's hearts to seek knowledge. And inshallah if they begin to learn how Allah has spent their childhood, it may benefit us and our children in the future, inshallah.
MashaAllah. Ji.
Sahib, we may not have had the best childhood. We may have had a childhood of ignorance, of wasting time in futile things. But now that we are aware, let's now try and educate our youngsters, try and give our upcoming generation a childhood of piety. Now, there's many ways to do this, but alhamdulillah, one of the best ways is to involve yourselves, affiliate yourselves and your family members with the beautiful environment of Dawah Islami. And Dawah Islami gives many, many different avenues in which you can help your child with a good upbringing, whether that be Madrasat al-Madina, whether that be Fazan School, whether that be Darul Madina. Alhamdulillah, you attach yourself to Dawah Islami, and inshallah, Dawah Islami will take care of your children and your offspring, inshallah.
Inshallah. My dear viewers of Madani Channel, it is time to come to close to the ending of the program. Take care of yourself. Inshallah, keep watching Madani Channel. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam.
The path of knowledge is the way to Jannah. The path of knowledge is the way to Jannah. Jannah.